Okay. Alright, so Outer Worlds. Just came out recently. What is there to say about this game? So far I'm about at hour 27. Still, I paid about 45 for it. So 45 after tax, because there's sales tax where I live. It was around 50. So let's find a good quest and then chat about this fucking game. The printers. Sanjay believes Catherine would know where the other. Talk to Catherine. These might be on another planet. So we'll just go with the printer cartridge quest. So I just found the religion, the one that's not Father Vickers, but there's another one. It's a separate one. I don't know. It starts with a P. The Philosophist or something like that. Anyways, I brought Father Vicar along with me to talk with the leader of the Philosophists. That's definitely not going to be their name. Let's get it right. Graham, whatever. Graham. And they, Father Vicar and him had a nice pissing contest. It's pretty hilarious.
I've been mulling over everything.
There we go.
Graham and the Iconoclasts. Upon further reflection, Graham's not as much of an idiot as I thought he'd be. But in other ways, he's worse. I'd urge you to be careful. He's an unhinged zealot who lacks awareness of the consequences of his choices. I wouldn't trust him to lead a crew.
So, Father Vickers' character is a little confusing. It's very interesting because he's supposed to be like some type of holy man, a father of his people, and he's violent, and he's aware of the violence, and he talks about it. He's like, oh, I believe violence is a tool for... And you just don't see that very often in, at least in like party characters that are in your party in RPGs, Western RPGs at least. You don't really see that. Yes, I'm a father, usually there's some type of healer or, like a mage, but this guy is just violent. Yeah, who would you trust to run a Mark? Here we go, Iconoclasts.
Zora has what it takes to save Monarch.
Well, I should have definitely saved that conversation for later. So, Outer Worlds, so far 30 hours in. There's something... So it's very beautiful. The setting, the visuals, the planets, the foliage, the character designs, the faces, it's all very pretty. It's all very good looking. There's something off about the game with me. So everybody's given it 9s and 10s, and I went into this, like a lot of people, unfortunately, expecting something somewhat similar to Fallout, Vegas, Fallout Nevada, whatever the fuck the name of that one is, Fallout New Vegas, and it has a little bit of that here and there, but I shouldn't have. I should not have gone into it expecting New Vegas. Because it's, watching the videos on it, but the problem is that, the marketing company kind of advertised it like that, so it's a little rude. It's a little fucked up for them to advertise it as, it's just like New Vegas, and then not really deliver on that. So, if you were to put me in a void of no marketing, and I really try to avoid trailers, but I was so excited for this game that I had to watch a couple, so put me in a void of no marketing, and maybe getting the game for $40 flat, this would be a good buy. And it still is. And, people buying it for $60, probably not a good buy. You're going to get your hours worth, but you might not get your money's and, enjoyment's worth out of it. Alright, I should probably fast travel. Oh, you can't really fast travel. Okay, we'll just walk. Okay. The combat is... It's lacking something. It's both parties, both me and the enemy, die too fast. And it's just a little too easy. even, and then, you know, I don't want to play the hardest difficulty because, you know, unfortunately I have, you know, I have things to do in my life, and sometimes I have to just get up and go and do said things. And, you know, with a game like this, okay, now I have to leave my computer running for 8 hours because I can't get back to a bed to save. Or party member permadeaths. So you know, it's just, the combat's a little too, it's just, as soon as you get into it, before you know it, it's over and done with. And I'm sure if I were alone in my party, and I've purposefully given my party members, all of them, weak weapons. As in, like, okay, let's look at, my highest DPS is probably, what, 800? Okay, 960. And I purposefully have my party members' DPS, Vicar, at, what is he at, 300? Yeah, 300. And I just recently, so this is the newest party member, I got her, and she's at 800 DPS because that's her default. I've considered just giving her something less, because it's already too easy. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Let's give her, you know, it's still a heavy weapon. It'll be interesting to watch her use this with her special abilities. She's gonna spray a bunch of glob blasts everywhere. But the game is so close. There's writing and there's dialogue trees, but in the dialogue trees, you know, and there's skill checks. But the skill check, I've never not passed a skill check. Maybe one time hacking a computer, so not even a dialogue option, I didn't pass one skill check. So it feels like the skill checks are too easy. And then going into, for example, your character and your skills past level 40. I guess you can't see. Maybe I can hover. No, I can't hover. So see the level 40, competent handgun critical damage, level 40, level 40. Past level 40 for almost all of the skills, there's like no in-game, like no noticeable in-game change. Not all the skills, but most of them. Most specifically, we'll just focus on the weapons. Heavy reload speed, plus 30, that's great. But then you see long guns, headshot, weapon damage, plus 20. Minor armor penetration, plus 10. So at this point, long gun, headshots, and weak spot damage, plus 20. You're already immediately killing them when you're shooting their, you know, head spot damage. I'm purposefully, I run around with this pistol. Because this pistol, I like pistols, you know, it takes up less of the screen. And look, 414, when, like I said, you know, I have this, 960, and I only pull it out when I want a little bit of action, and if I'm getting a little annoyed or a little overrun. But for me, I feel like there's something wrong with the game when you have the most powerful weapon in your inventory, and you don't want to use it. And I only feel that, I've only felt that in a couple of games, and it's usually RPGs. And Fallout 4 didn't really struggle with that, and none of the other Fallouts struggled with that. So, you know, it's just a balancing issue. You could view it as, you know, sort of like role-playing. That, well, maybe your character just happens to be amazing with heavy machine guns, then that's fine. But then, I kind of want this thing. But then, you know, you go around, and you get heavy machine guns here and there, and then all of a sudden you kill an enemy. I'm just gonna grab it then. Maybe I can just grab all this stuff. I was walking around half the game with a light machine gun that does 400 damage maxed out, and then I walk across an enemy, kill him, and boom, now I have a heavy weapon that does almost 1,000 DPS. It's like I didn't even... That enemy wasn't challenging. That, you know, I expect a weapon like that from an enemy who kept taking out my party multiple times, all my party members at it, I keep dying. It's just weirdly balanced. The Mantiqueens, so far the Mantiqueens are the only thing I've come across that actually presented a challenge. And I'm assuming those are like the Deathclaws in the Fallout universe. They seem to be the strongest thing so far. Okay. I usually buy all the heavy ammo and all the light ammo, but I won't need to be doing that soon. And all the Adrenos. Let's see what he's got for a weapon. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll get that. Don't really need anything else. Should probably sell some stuff. Ooh, okay. Deadeye assault rifle. That is interesting, and it's interesting because, you know, 198 damage per second. Cool, awesome, new, sweet-looking assault rifle, right? 198 DPS. Sell this. And oh look, ultra rifle, assault rifle, 629 DPS, and I got that off of just a dead body. And it's like you kind of find this, oh cool, you know, there's a guy over there, it looks like some type of scripted death, you know, he's just laying there, and you pick up his new assault rifle, and it's weaker than something you found off of a random's, a familiar's dead body. So okay, this is supposed to be the replacement for the hunting rifle. So I can sell my old hunting rifle now. So this is level 19. I'm not going to look at DPS because it's a sniper. I'm going to look at the damage. So 228 per shot. Because with snipers, you're mostly going for headshots and limb shots. 99. So, post armor damage up. So I think I'm just going to sell this sniper because they both use heavy. Yep, heavy. Just to have something new. Just to have something new. I've had this sniper with me, or this hunting rifle with me most of the game. Goodbye. Oh.
I find myself marveling. Something.
Shall we continue? Yeah. So, 40 bucks, 50. Probably wait. Honestly, probably wait till it's 30. Unless you don't have any, if you go in with no expectations, like you're somebody who hasn't played any Fallouts, or you're just really good at like removing expectations from video game companies, then you'll probably thoroughly enjoy this. I haven't quite, you know, I find myself also kind of struggling to play more than an hour or maybe 2 hours if I'm feeling good of this game at a time. Whereas with the entire Fallout series, including the original 1, 2, and 3, or I should say 1 and 2. A lot of people think of those as sort of the original. I'll get myself lost, and I'll not even purposefully. I won't be hyper focused. I'll just be like, oh shit, 4 hours went by. Or with Fallout 4, oh shit, 6 hours just went by. But this game, it's like, okay, I think it's time for a break after 1 hour. And you know, here and there's interesting characters. The first character you come across, this sort of mechanic woman, she's got a really interesting plot line and a sort of love story with another female engineer on the Groundbreaker. That's interesting. And then this character, you know, the drug addict's is kind of interesting. Father Vicar, not really. He's just not. So the characters, it's sort of sporadic when they're interesting and their plot lines are interesting. And that, you know, that's something that all the Fallouts suffer from in all games like this. But it feels like with all the previous, you know, Fallouts and even Skyrim, most of the character lines and most of the stories are interesting. So let's talk to this guy.
Excuse me, but this area's off limits. We got a leaky generator. That's my nice way of telling you.
What's going on here?
We're fixing a leaky generator. What's it to you?
Oh yeah, let's see. What's wrong with the generator?
What are you, a safety inspector? It's busted. Huh?
Well, I could fix it. I'm just saying. You know, I've got engineering skill of 60.
Whatever.
Nobody tells me to sort off. I need to get inside.
And I'm just gonna let you walk.
Alright, now it's gonna be like intimidation or lie or persuade. Look at that. All skill checks passed. Holy shit, 2,000. You're here for Colada, I get it. I'll offer. You get paid. You all go home with a win.
Hell, I ain't gonna pass up free bits. Make it painful.
I kind of want to kill him anyways. Also, I mean, I've looked and I might have missed it, but default control-wise, there's no quick save button. That's a little annoying. And it's unfortunate how when you're crouching in the, and I'm not the only, you know, person who's noticed this or complained of this. When you're crouching in the grass, boom, frame rate massive frame rate drop. But I did notice recently, I haven't read about it, I think 2 weeks ago or maybe a week ago, there was some optimization update. God, I really should have just done the fight, you know, and that's another thing. It's like, okay, cool, skill check. Oh, what happened? Oh, I think I pressed up on the D-pad. You know, I might just kill these guys just because. Just for the fighting and just for the experience. That's another thing. It's like, there's not quite enough combat or chances for combat, you know, that you want to pass it up. It's like, great, oh god, should I just do it? Sublight. Okay, we're gonna see something here. We're gonna go for character and then reputation. I don't see Sublight on here, so I just wonder if that's like a gang. Antique Leo is very just about not happy with me. Oh, there it is. Sublight salvage and shipping. It's too early to tell whether this employer is competent or not. Salvager. I guess you probably wouldn't want to piss off a faction I haven't even met yet. They have really cool masks too. They look like bad guys. They're probably bad guys, but just wait on that. The loot. So the loot. I was gonna talk about that. There's a fuck ton of food loot. Oh my god, I'm gonna give you guys a seizure here. Fuck ton of food loot. I find myself always selling most of it, and I'm assuming on the hardest difficulty, you probably eat a lot more. I will just put that in there. This, I keep pointing as if you can see me, but at the top row here, this, how would you call it? Emergency inhaler, where you can put in all different types of foods to give yourself different effects while you use your healing inhaler. Sort of like a, God, what are they called? I forget the names of everything. But the med kit, or the med syringe in most of the Fallout games, this is a really cool idea. And I hope in future games by these companies, they explore this, where when you use the stim pack, you know, it's kind of like a stim pack, but you get to choose all the other effects with it. You get to put different foods in there. That's just really fucking cool. I really appreciate that. But God, there's so much food, and then, you know, armor. Okay. There's a lot of armor, but, you know, there's really only 2 or 3 sets of armor you'll come across that are worth your time, and then you just upgrade them to continue with you throughout the game. Weapons, again, there's just not as much weapon loot. Majority of it seems to be food. And all the weapon loot, it seems like, you know, you find a gun and then that you're going to be using that through most of the game.
Too quiet. What are you up to out there? Hello?
So we're at the 20-minute mark. I'm gonna call it here and just kind of give my review. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna be giving, you know, from 0 to 10 based on price. The price I paid and then a price I would recommend paying for it. So at 30 hours in, I feel like it's a fair chance to review it. Seems like there's a lot of planets. That's pretty neat, but also there's only like 2 planets that you spend most of your time on. So that's not cool. Beautiful visuals. Voice acting seems fine. Everything's voice acted. A lot of dialogue paths, although it seems like only 1 or 2 of them per major character are relevant dialogue paths that change the game. Skill checking, not really relevant. Character always feels overpowered. I like that you can have 2 companions. That's cool, but again, having 2 companions, even more overpowered. You know, I'd say, so for what I paid, 50. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for 50 bucks. So I'd recommend, so let's say you pay 30 for it. $29.99 is the price you'd see it at. I'd bump it up to an 8, but just an 8, not 8.5, just an 8. Yeah, and I'm gonna, you know, removing it from the Fallout universe and the context, just an 8. If I were to keep it in the world of Fallout New Vegas, it would be like a 7 for 30 bucks, a 7.5. It's missing something. It's missing 2 key major things in the combat, and then in the loot. And the skill check, that's minor. So combat and loot. Hopefully they'll fix it with updates. It's very well optimized right now, besides the grass. And you know, that's just being nitpicky, but throwing nitpicks aside, combat is just over too quick and it's missing depth. They have a really cool idea where you slow down time and you can see which limbs, you know, you shoot and what happens. And you can do that maybe twice and then you're back in just fast combat. So it feels shallow when it has so much potential there to not be. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is just for me. Bye.